Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of 20th Century Girl, a Korean romance, comedy, drama hybrid from 2022. Set in 1999, the story revolves around Bora, played by Yoo-jung, a 17-year-old high school student with a bright personality. Her best friend is preparing to visit the United States for heart surgery, but suddenly declares to her that she has fallen in love with a boy from their school. So Bora promises that she'll follow this boy, find out some stuff about him, and email whatever she discovers until her friend comes back into town and kind of shores things up romantically with him. But of course, she begins to develop feelings for him herself. Now, when I started watching this movie, I thought I clicked on the wrong film because Hyo-joo shows up, and I did not even know that she was in this movie because I don't think she was billed as the lead. She's like a supporting role, but we quickly realized that she's the adult version of our main character, and Hyo-joo starts the film off, and then she comes back near the end to bookend the story. But for like 90% of the runtime in the middle, we go into flashback mode to when she was a teenager, played by Yoo-jung. And as you may have gathered, the plot synopsis, the early parts of this story basically involve stalking, right? When a guy does it, it's creepy. But when a girl does it, it's cute. But hey, this is a fictional story, and we're playing it for laughs, so it's okay. Also, the stalker element does kind of fade away almost entirely after like the opening 20 or 30 minutes when the girl and the boy actually start hanging out together properly. Now, a lot of the time, Korean films of this kind can elevate themselves above and beyond the cliches, usually by giving us high-quality character work or something unique. Now, in the case of 20th Century Girl, the filmmakers gave us something that's simply good across the board. There's a huge dose of innocence here, which we're seeing less and less in the more high-profile Korean movies nowadays. I think the overly cynical feel of modern Korean cinema is something I've complained about a few times in the past here. So seeing a movie like this, kind of a refreshing change of pace. The comedy works pretty well, made me chuckle a handful of times, and the character interaction kept me engaged with it. Now, the lead actress, Yoo-jung, is only about 23 years old, but I felt like I had seen her in movies from like years ago, and I was correct in that observation when I looked up her filmography. She was the little girl in Lump of Sugar, if you've ever seen that one. I have a review of that one on my channel. And she was also the little girl in The Chaser, so you probably have seen her as well in some flicks. She also played a significant role in Thread of Lies, which was a pretty good flick from the mid-2010s. She's very good in 20th Century Girl, very charismatic. I like the male lead and the supporting actors as well, but it's the lead actress that really carries the film, with some assistance from Hyo-joo, of course, who turns in a very nice performance as well. So again, a lot of times in these like comedy-type films, the lead actor or actress has to be legit, and thankfully they got a legit one here. Now, I like the way the film looks, very brightly lit. Colorful visuals as well. It's not anything surrealistic. It's simply that, like, the grass is really green, and the sunlight is really bright, especially early on. And there also seems to be like a bright blue tint that's added to the film a little bit at times, and that blue color scheme is accentuated by some of the student uniforms as well. So I liked how the film looked. It's a lot of films nowadays are kind of drab, or they desaturate the colors out of the film. It's not the case here. My main criticism of this movie is that it is rather predictable and even cliche. Like the main conflict or dramatic obstacle, say, is related directly to a lack of communication. And we've seen this many times before. But to be fair, you do understand why the protagonist is not correcting the miscommunication, because she's I guess, checking up on this guy for her friend, right? and the guy kind of gets a feel like that she's interested in him, which she is, but she can't really tell him that, you know what I mean? Because she's doing it for a friend. So you have that type of miscommunication at play, and really, it would have been resolved in like a 5-minute conversation, right? But they keep that kind of friction there between the characters, and that is kind of like a script writing tactic that's not especially like high quality. But the good thing is that the problem is eventually addressed, and then the final half hour redirects the focus onto some more, I guess you could say, melodramatic elements. And that, I think in this case, it was the right choice, because the impact of the film is greater than it would have been with just the typical, romance comedy stuff. But they add the drama stuff in, and I think it kind of like kicked the film up a notch, in my opinion. So the title of the film, 20th Century Girl, it hits you at the end, like the meaning of it. And the ending did surprise me a little bit in terms of having a legitimate emotional resonance to it. It effectively pulls at the heartstrings, and I got a little bit teary-eyed at the end of this one. So I think this movie works in that romance comedy realm, and it also works in the melodramatic realm as well, which makes it a nice, just a nice film to watch. All in all, I think this is a good film. I recommend it, and it's currently available on Netflix if you're in the mood for something like this. And as always, we will see you next time.